Vito's, look at that. Nice hat, Bob.
Changing things up a little bit. Going to the
Bob,
Vito.
that's a nice
wear
hat.
that hat everywhere now.
I like this hat a lot.
It's a nice
Right
hat. It's a nice
You
hat.
know what happened to you? We were out last night
Yeah.
and he got a compliment on it. As soon as Bob gets a compliment out in public on something, you can guarantee
You could lock that into the wardrobe.
Yeah, no, 100% he's gonna wear it for at least a week straight now. Like it's a done deal. Like this lady came up, she's like, I love that hat. Where it's from? He's like, let me tell you where it's from. It's from Vito's Pizza.
I tell you, there's some dinners that like I'm not like a FOMO guy really, but there's like that dinner at Rayo's that would have been a dinner that I would have really
special one.
Yeah, that looked like it was really, really good. It looked
Perez,
like it was really good.
When Perez gets sentimental, you know it's like special.
Yeah, that's
he
good.
gave a toast that was insane.
He did, Perez?
He gave
out of nowhere.
He gave a really, really
the guy. That's a guy with a 99 Madden awareness rating. He's got a 99 Madden awareness rating.
Something about a juicy meatball that just makes this guy open up.
He is those meatballs do something. What he does is he orders the meatball appetizer and then he gets the spaghetti and meatballs.
He did rigatoni yesterday.
He did the rigatoni and meatballs. They're gonna put, which is big news. They're gonna give me a picture on the wall.
Wow,
give me a picture on the wall. It's big, man. That is really
what picture?
Bucket list stuff.
Yeah,
what picture
special.
are we going with?
By the way, the reason they're putting me
it's gonna be him and Volpe, actually, Joe. Joe didn't hear that.
The reason they're putting me on the wall is I asked if they would put me on.
No, you didn't. Did you
no,
really?
I really did. I really did.
They didn't have the heart to tell him no.
No,
I said I asked him last night. Joey D's got his hand up. But by the way,
I have a suggestion for a photo that could be put up. And it would tie into Rayo's, would be the first ever Rayo's dinner that we all had together in New York.
It's one of the first things that I thought about.
That's a good picture, too.
It's a great picture, but the problem is it's at the different Rayo's. I almost feel like
it's still Rayo's. I mean,
yeah, they got to be in good relation. Those two. Yeah. They're not in competition. They're not.
You're putting a picture of us at Rayo's.
Yeah, I think that's a good.
Plus,
point.
I mean, we're in the picture, so it adds,
Did you hear what I said? What picture he was going to pick, Joe?
What?
Him and Volpe.
Oh yeah, that would be par for the course. Thing took up the entire fucking square. The whole square footage of the Breezy Lounge is just a picture of him and Volpe.
Hey, by the way, no shameless plug, but I did announce it yesterday. I'd like to invite people that are available to come because it is our Breezy Lounge. It's the boys' lounge in 5 Iron Golf in Herald Square, New York, 2 weeks from yesterday, Saturday, January 20th, for a divisional NFL playoff watch party. Myself, grill guy, Nikki Diamonds, should be a good time.
Good for you,
come one, come all. I think it'll be a great day of watching football and hanging out and eating and drinking. And
a sleeper on that roster is Dickie Gas. I think a lot of people haven't gotten the opportunity to get their paws on Dickie Gas.
Yeah, and I tell you what, once they do, they may want to take the paws off real fast because not many guys can handle him, man.
I don't know if Gas is built for people coming up to say hi to him while he's sweating out a bet. Like he might tell some people to kick rocks.
I just hope that he doesn't fade. I just hope he doesn't fade every single pick that we put up. That's what I'm concerned about.
That's honestly. What gets me. And I really hope people are going to come. They're going to want to run. He might fade every single one of your picks.
Yeah, we can't have that. We can't have that.
Well, you got to talk to him because this is a camaraderie building event. Yes. It's not just a get with the boys, watch the game kind of thing.
Yes, it's going to be a lot of fun though.
That going back to last night, that was Joey D's last dinner in LA, which is just wild. I mean, Joe was out here before me. It's just wild. That was his last dinner, his last hurrah.
Yeah, I've never experienced the feeling of moving like completely like to across country like that. Or Joe's done it twice now, really. I mean, from Canada to LA and now to Florida. I mean, I've been centralized local my whole life, really. So I don't really know that feeling. I mean, we've moved certainly. So I know how big of a pain in the ass moving is because whether you move down the block or across country, you still got to pack up all your shit and prepare. But in terms of moving like that, man, that's gotta be crazy.
It's a lot. And moving to a new country is tough. Moving my biggest move was moving to Europe, moving to a new continent. That was when I moved to Switzerland. That was the biggest move. But I hate it so much. I mean, I'm
Moving
looking forward.
sucks.
I'm looking forward to going to Florida and being, like a Jupiter West Palm guy. It'll be my first time on the East Coast, which is going to be interesting.
Time zone is going to be so much better for us, man.
I don't
It
know
is,
if I'm
bro.
gonna adjust. You know what I'm really dreading is that if I want to watch the late game, I got to stay up till 1 in the morning now to watch it.
No. Late games are over by 11:30. The 8 o'clock games are over by 11:30, the latest.
Well, no,
usually.
on the West
So
Coast, if the Lakers are playing at 7.
Oh, you're talking
well,
about
that you
10
gotta-
yeah.
yeah,
I mean,
or
you gotta.
what if
that
I
you
want to
gotta-
watch a Canucks playoff game, Bob?
Well, I mean, yeah.
Don't worry
Yeah.
about the NBA.
East
I mean,
Coast
don't
time
worry
zone
about
wasn't worried about Canucks hockey when that whole thing did.
Yeah.
Either one of them.
Yeah. You gotta forfeit that, Joey D. You gotta
By the way,
moving
the Canucks, pretty good hockey team over there.
Yeah,
Pretty
they
good
are,
hockey team.
man. They're one of
Pretty
the
good.
top teams in the league
Pretty
this
good.
year.
Pretty good.
It's almost time for Mikey to start taking some hockey picks.
I put out 2 the other day. I split, but I actually put one out today. I put
Did
out
you really?
I put out Blackhawks Calgary Flames under 6.5 goals.
We are see that's Mikey. I can get
Bob might do that.
Mikey, you put out an under today, which I'm gonna ride. I'm going the full.
Jets Pats, lowest under since 1993.
Is that so?
That's the lowest NFL total.
What is it at?
29.5. It's the lowest.
9.5.
It's the lowest since 1993. It's blizzarding in New England. It's supposed to snow the entire duration of the game.
Oh, Bob's
These two,
gonna love this.
let's just have some fun and bet the under.
Sure.
Let's just have some fun.
Everybody's gonna take the over.
That's fine. And that's fine.
Mike, I will say just about every single under that you've given me has hit. Every time and I love when you go unders.
We had a good under last night with the Colts game. That was a good under.
Would have liked to seen that one. Didn't see that one.
And today we'll be at Bob's today watching the big
Bears Packers.
I gotta move in the morning, but the afternoon
maybe a little halftime live, me and you, Joe, maybe. A little halftime IG live, I think, to set people up nice for that halftime
I
show.
think that could be arranged. It's
unless you're in the clouds. If you're in the clouds, I mean you're in the clouds.
I'll still go live from the clouds.
Yeah, I'll go live.
Yeah,
I'll be a couple Modelo's deep.
He's no stranger from going live from the clouds.
I gave Holly a full warning this morning. I gave her a full. Yeah, I did. I was like, listen. I was like, you have to understand something. I go, today is my Super Bowl. I go, it's my Super Bowl. I go, I haven't felt this way about a Bears game since the playoffs in 2018. I haven't been as ready for a game.
Crazy.
And she understands. She understands. So
by the way,
it's going to be bad. It's going to be
game
bad.
means nothing for you guys. It's just another game.
That's not true at all. It's
You're
not true. It
You
means
can't
a
make the
lot.
playoffs.
Justin Fields is fighting for potentially his career in Chicago. They have an opportunity to knock out their arch rival, and they got an opportunity to win a game that they haven't won in 10 years, in a place they haven't won in 10 years. It's a huge game for the Bears.
Mikey, you're in a great spot. You really are. You have
your spoiler spot.
Well, no, I just mean in general, just moving forward. I think it's ridiculous that you're as amped up for the game as you are. I do. I mean, nothing. I get it.
Where Bobby's playing the NFC Championship.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
It's
Super Bowl,
absurd.
Super Bowl, Super Bowl.
It's
Let's not
absolutely
downplay
absurd.
it. It's a Super Bowl.
But your season ended on the game one. You had to win the first week against the Packers. That was your guys' biggest game. That that game you guys had to win.
Yeah,
And
it was deflating.
From that moment, the season ended, and now you guys got a little bit of life just to play spoiler at the end there. But look, I mean, all the power to you, Mikey. Pulling for you, pal. And most importantly, I'm pulling for that under. Because if you put an under out there, I'm going to ride it. And I'm going to ride it hard.
Vibes will be very high.
The only under I have on the board today is Jets Patriots under 29.5.
Do me a favor.
Wow.
Could you force an under? Is there another under that you could force?
Oh my. Bob,
I feel like that is almost kind of like a forced under, the Jets Patriots, because it's so low. The total is a historically low total. Only a psycho would put out to go under on a total that hasn't been matched in 30 years. I mean, you haven't seen a 29.5 in 30 years. So
that's wild.
If that ain't a force, I don't know what is, but fuck it, because everyone
in their mother,
everyone in their mother is going to say go over on Jets Patriots.
Yes,
everyone in their mother is going to say that. But Vegas, why would they set it if
No, I'm all aboard that. I just want to watch clock tick today. That's all I want.
It's a sick and twisted thing.
here's the deal. Something that we do need to address, and we are going to bring Nikki Diamonds on. And look, we can't sugarcoat nothing. And I don't necessarily want to be the guy that has to rag on him by any means, but
Oh, don't do it. Don't do it.
you gotta,
Don't,
Mikey,
don't.
you gotta address it. He has been ice cold. I mean,
Yeah, you know
Elephant.
what, bro? Let me tell you something, man. Like doing this on social media and so many people following you and heeding your advice on betting. I hope he takes it.
a lot of people.
I haven't spoken to him in like probably the last 24 hours. I spoke to him like 2 days ago, and I'm obviously aware of what's going on in his camp and what happened like over the last couple of days with the streak. It is a gut-wrenching, awful feeling, and I just hope he's all right. I hope he's all right. And of course, you would have to bring it up. I think it's not necessary, but I don't think it's necessary.
But Mikey, you got to ride the highs and the lows. I mean, we use him when he's high, and he's got to take accountability for the lows.
He's gonna come in like a bat out of hell. I'll
That's
tell
what
you right
concerns me.
yeah. I talked to him yesterday. He was
yeah. I mean, when you're going like that, and you really feel, and he's like me, like every pick he puts out, like he really truly believes in it. And when you get knocked down that many times like that, it's brutal, bro. Like I've been there. It's brutal.
I will tell you right now. He told me the total that he's down from yesterday. Yeah. I won't even mention it.
No, don't.
But it's such an absurd number that I actually like the hairs on the back of my neck rose. And then you know what he proceeded to say? He's like, what really upsets me is that I've undone 3 months of work for my followers. So he actually cares more about the fact that he's losing other people money than the fact that he's down a freaking
I say it all the time. I make plays, obviously, that I don't post. I do have some plays that I don't post. If I could lose every play that I make on the side, I would lose every one for my subscriber picks to hit. I just would. Yeah. That's just the name of the game. I mean, if you don't feel like a piece of shit when you're putting picks out for other people, then you're probably in the wrong, I don't want to say business, but you're in the wrong area of.
Here's the thing. And I'll give it to you from probably the best rider I've ever seen in my life, which is Fat Perez. Once you make the decision to ride, that's it. You've taken that on your own. Yeah, and you know what? There's no one to blame but yourself, because if you were unsure, if you weren't in, if you were a little bit undecided, then you don't need to. Nobody's forcing a gun to your head to take the game. So as soon as you go ahead and take that
respectfully. If Mikey goes on a cooler, if Mikey gets, if Mikey loses a few games in a row, you're throwing a fit. You're not saying,
I'm going to throw a fit because he lost, but I'm not.
But for anything, I mean, so to sit here and give that speech that it's your fault, you're throwing a fit about.
He's still, but he will still ride though. He's so sick. I could lose 20 bets in a row, and I could say, Joe, I really like this game. He'd be like, all right, I'm going to play.
100%. He's a good rider.
That's a rider.
But don't give me this whole, you be accountable for that.
Because I won't text Mikey and be like, you're doing terribly. I might be like, what the? Well, I might text you, but what you don't know can't hurt you. So Mikey's
I could actually hear the text from Joe to Bob on the side. This guy is cold as ice. I could literally hear the text.
Ladies and gentlemen, this episode of the Brilliant Ump Show is brought to you by BetterHelp. BetterHelp.com. Whether you are in a funk in your life, you need somebody to talk to, somebody to help you get back on track, BetterHelp.com is the place to go. If you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists anytime for no additional charge. Let therapy be your map with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/BDS today to get 10% off your first month. That's betterhelp.com/BDS for 10% off your first month. Go over to betterhelp.com, get everything back on track, and do it the right way. Talk to somebody today. BetterHelp.com.
But my point is, Bob, is I'm not going back. Like some of these guys will go back to the source and be like, gave me like that's just you just don't do that. Like you're able to like bitch and complain, but I'm saying like you take the pick, it's your pick. You just got to live and die with it. That's it.
Well,
And
let's
Perez will
move on.
literally ride
Oh.
somebody in the street. Will
I
tell
mean,
him
he
something. He'll ride.
took a blind bet. He took a blind bet on a 3 o'clock horse race from Australia because Dickie Gas told him that it was a good horse to bet.
Oh,
I mean, that's when you know you're a rider.
That was the
That
worst
was the
bet.
worst.
Was that catching Kittle?
Yes.
Yeah. When
Catching
Kittle.
Kittle. The worst horse race of all time. We didn't get to see it, and he just lost. It was just $50 down the drain.
Yeah.
Okay, we got to bring him in. We're gonna address it. I mean, we have to address it. Last week, I do
Bob,
want to
do it in a nice way because I
I
just
got it.
you
I
gotta-
got it. But you got to bring it up. You got to address it. Anytime, like last week he came on. Okay, it was the highest viewed episode we have ever done for the first.
Yeah,
week.
bro. Like 30K views on YouTube almost. I saw. I just checked yesterday.
People were loving him in the comments. One bad comment came in. I get a call. I saw the comment come in. I get a call 2 minutes later, and he goes, Robert, he's like, can I speak to you? I was like, yeah, what's going on? He's like, it appears that some people of your program don't like me too much. Diamond Blood. This is gonna happen. It just it's the way that it is. It's the internet. There's nothing.
But he had like a 98% success rate on the
I
comments.
mean, he was batting 1,000. I mean, you know, pretty much.
It was ridiculous.
I should tell him to read the comments. How many people shit on me all the time? Maybe he'll start feeling better.
It's part of his. Ladies and gentlemen, let's bring in the big fellas. He's a little ruffled up. He's been in the waiting 5 minutes, but we had to find the right time to bring in. This is the Diamond in the Rough segment with the one and only Nikki. Diamonds, fellas, let's give a nice warm round of applause for our guy.
Oh, he's looking very
good,
dapper.
bro. You look good.
Diamonds, I will say we are going to get you eventually a laptop so that, you know, it'll be a nice, even bigger picture for you.
He has a laptop.
I have one. Somebody's got to come over here, i.e. Michael.
I mean, that's me, yeah.
Not only do I have a laptop, I have headphones from when I did my radio program.
Yes.
Headphones, a microphone. I have thousands of dollars worth of equipment.
Diamonds, Mikey, do you think this is something that we could do, that we could head on over to the condo and get them set up?
Yeah, it'll be straightened out for next week.
I know it's a long drive for you.
I mean, you would never leave and come here and let me show you, though. We know that also. See, this is how Nutley is. It's very territorial. Like one guy, it's like putting your foot down and you know, drawing a line in the sand. Are you coming to my house? I'm going to your house. And that line is defended to the death. People just don't want to leave their kingdoms. I don't want to leave mine. He doesn't want to leave his. And I understand that perfectly.
The thing is, too, Diamonds gave you a really hard time about, he had an AC issue in the cave last time that we were all there.
And a volume issue. A volume issue.
There's always an issue.
In Diamond's defense, I think Diamonds can be very hard on you. That's the relationship you guys have. With that being said, it was a little hot down there, Diamonds.
Oh, sweltering. It was, you know, it was the equivalent of spending a weekend in Sobibor.
Diamonds, here's the thing that I do want to discuss with you today. And I think the Diamond in the Rough segment is going to be you just coming on and just shooting the shit for us, you know, with a bit. I think a lot of people do want to hear from you. But the thing that I really do want to address, that I want to ask you, if, you know, it's changed the way that you go about yourself. Does food not taste as well? As you were the hottest man in gambling, in handicap, you and Mikey V, back and forth, just pick after pick. You've gone cold. You've gone ice cold. And I just want to get your take to how you see all of that.
Well, look, here's the thing. First of all, the people that I'm most concerned about are the blue collar guy who can't maybe afford to go through the wave. Some of these people, they go off the beaten path. I feel bad for them. The program, do I lose sleep over it? For myself, you asked if food tastes better. Everything is, you know, the same, minus, you know, your sexual performance. Because with my platform, look, if you're a favorite bettor in the United States this week, you're looking up yachts to buy. You're going to sell it the next week. But for a 72-hour period, you could afford it. If that's going to happen, you're not going to win with me. The flip side of it is that the losses that have been incurred within the last 96-hour period, let's say, like when I'm in a 1-for-15, you could get that back within 4 bets.
Yeah.
But obviously, yeah, man, you're going to bed. I'm thinking of the kid in the Midwest.
It's always in the Midwest.
Always
for us.
the
It's
Midwest.
always when it comes to food,
Iowa,
when it comes to anything, it's always
Idaho.
like
Yeah,
some
the
poor
Mid-
guy in Iowa that's got to take the bullet.
The
Always,
Midwest. And we
always.
always say to the Midwest
rag on
gets
them.
buried on this
Yeah,
show.
they do. They sure
I have
do.
tremendous
They sure
amount
do.
of respect for the Bible Belt, and I feel for them.
Nick, I was saying before you came on, like, if you go on a cooler, like, it really is though, like, it's because you feel like, if you're like me and you're not putting anything out to your people that you don't truly have conviction in yourself. You have conviction in every play you're putting out, like me. And when you go on a cooler, it's kind of like, okay, 1 in a row, 2 in a row, 3 in a row. And it's like, it gets to the point, like, is this real? Is this actually real?
It cuts you to your core, especially when analytically, it's almost impossible to have some of these downsides. But then again, you go to the 3rd floor of the racetrack and these guys are covered in piss and they're all saying,
Oh,
shit.
Yeah. I mean,
I
you
will
go
say-
to the race, you see guys at the racetrack. It's
Oh.
just like, it's one of the sadder things you'll ever see.
Oh,
Like,
they're bathing in the men's room sink.
it's
It
so bad.
is, by the way, even like in Vegas, when I was in Vegas with my dad and he loves to bet the horses, which, that's tough for him, but
That's great though.
I love it, man. He
Yeah.
got me into it. I love it. But when you see these guys that are regulars that have like the reserved seat, it is really, you're right. It's one of the sad, I mean, that is heresy.
Covered in cigarette ash.
Yeah.
How many coffees can you drink? Like
That's so accurate.
I will say, Bob, from my experience with Nick and Mikey too, but when you get somebody who knows what they're doing and they go on a cold streak, you actually kind of want to start tallying them, because once you go cold, I've seen it like towards the end, there's a period where it just becomes nuclear then, and then you just start rattling off one after another, and it becomes like, it almost like inverts. It goes from like as bad as it could be to like literally cannot lose a game, and you want to hit that tail end. So you have to ride it out, which is terrible, because you feel like you're going down, but it's like going down, and then all of a sudden you're in like a mermaid euphoria, and it's like diamonds and stuff and everything everywhere. It's unbelievable. I'm saying
a mermaid
euphoria. If the ship sinks and you're about to die, but then all of a sudden you wake up and you're like
the
in
mermaid's rescue, like in Hook, when
Yes.
Robin Williams falls in the water and the mermaids resuscitate.
You wake up
him to the surface.
in riches and wondrous dewy meadows. It's wonderful.
Diamond, let me ask you this, okay? Because we're gonna tail, and we're gonna tail hard. I'm just curious, like, what does a football Sunday look like for you? Like, as far as like, do you do is it like a breakfast situation? You order the big breakfast and then you do power lunch. Like, what's football Sunday at Diamonds look like? Because that's something that I think I would be very interested in.
I woke up, I was on the road at 5:30 for a weekly meeting that I have. I already had a full breakfast. I've charted every single game so far. Not a whole lot of value on the board when it comes to food along the day. I mean, everything in sight. I have an entire array of different sodas, Stewart Birch beer and original, the Mexican Coca-Colas with the real sugar.
The real sugar.
Don't let it say that.
The tall glass bottles.
Absolutely. And I tell you, huge fan of a dear friend of ours. I'll usually load this place up with 6, 7, maybe 8 cheese steaks. You never know who's going to pop in. And if not, I eat them all myself and hope for the angina.
Yo, do you ever
What
see-
is that? That Nasty's cheese? What is it called?
Spankies.
Spankies.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
the old
Spankies.
Spanky.
By the way, the
Yes.
home of
Otherwise known as nastiest cheesesteak in New Jersey, Joseph. You're absolutely
Really?
by the way, Diamonds and Mikey V they went live and it was just a video of them eating a cheesesteak for 10 minutes straight.
It was riveting.
It was riveting. I just watching them eat the cheesesteak.
He calls me and he's like, I need a favor. Okay. I need you to go down to Spanky's on the Avenue. I've ordered 8 cheesesteaks for the Cotton Bowl tonight, and I need you to pick them up before you come over the condo. I said, no problem, Nick. They'll be ready at 7:15. So I picked them up. Now, mind you, there was only 2 of us there. Well, Gabe was there for a short period of time. It was 8 cheesesteaks literally for 2 people.
Yeah, the
Oh
man
my-
It was insane.
the Cuban is slowly becoming the skinny Cuban, which I don't know if I'm happy about it.
No, I'm not happy.
he
He
losing
needs
weight?
to remain as big as possible forever.
Absolutely. There's character in each pound.
He's got a big presence. He's got a big presence.
You could say that.
Oh, yeah.
He
Oh,
sure
yeah.
does.
But it's dying he's one of those guys now that has started to dye his beard. It's atrocious.
He's gonna look like Ryan Day.
You could legitimately see his Cuban body from space. Darkness of his beard.
All right,
Something
well,
else.
well, Diamonds, big board today. We love you, big fella. We appreciate you. This is
Love you.
weekly. The people love you. So you know what? If you do see one bad comment here and there, that's the internet. I know this is
Yeah.
new to you,
Gotta live
Diamonds.
with
Yeah, water off a duck's back.
Be careful today in what you play.
Yes.
Is one big play on the board, and I think we should let Mikey just say it right now. And if he doesn't know it, I'd be really, really surprised and upset. Michael, 1, 2, 3.
Packers money line.
Oh, Michael.
My play today that I really liked, but I kind of backed off of it a little bit, but I really liked the Detroit Lions today with -3.5. Now it's at 4. The first half is at -3.5, so I got off of it. So I don't know, Nick. Maybe we're not on the same page with that. I do like what? Go ahead.
Michael,
Yes.
stop it, Michael. What does hey, Michael?
Say again.
What does your hat say?
Oh, well, them. I'm all over them. I mean, I'm all over them. And see, I can't say that because whenever I say the Bears, if ever I pick the Bears, people just, it's automatic assumption that I'm doing it as a homer, as it's like a homer pick. So I did put out Bears first half team total over 9.5 points, which I really like. I really like that. I think they'll score 10 points in the first half easily. I don't trust Green Bay's defense.
I will say the Bears and then bid you adieu. I love you, gentlemen. Goodbye.
Goodbye, Nick.
Bye, Nick.
We love you, Nikki Diamonds.
It's the kiss of death for Cuts'
yeah.
Packers.
Well, here's the thing.
Or is it? Or
It's
is
been
it?
cold as ice.
Yeah,
So I don't know. It's either he's gonna. I hope if he takes 5 games today, I hope that's the one that he might be off on. But yeah, that's not what you want to hear as a Packers fan.
He took that with grace because that's the most difficult spot to be in when you're losing. If you lose a couple games, which by the way, he's made people so much fucking money this season. Like before this a cold streak, he was on like he was on a heater, like
A white hot, yeah.
It was like a 2-3 week period where he just didn't miss. I mean, you got to take gambling. People got to understand you can't win every week. It's just not the way it works. So, but you're winning more than you're losing. That's for sure.
All right, fellas, there you have it. Diamond in the rough segment right there. Now we head on over to our buy or sell segment. What did you like that you saw? What did you not like that you saw? Buy or sell, Mikey V, we'll start with you.
Wow. Okay. I am going to sell this week, and I'm going to sell this. This is something very, very trivial, maybe to some people, but to me, it's really starting to annoy me. These televisions that they come out and these smart devices, they come with these remote controls, and they're too small. These new remote controls for the Amazon Cube and the Samsung TVs, they're this big, the remote controls. In a house with kids, it is impossible to keep track of these remote controls. We need to go back to the days, and I understand everything, the phones, they get smaller, this, that. We need to get back to the days where the remote control was like a brick and there was no way you could lose it. I don't understand why we're upsizing TV screens, but the remotes inversely are getting shrunken down. It makes no sense. The remotes are just too easy to misplace. They're dog shit remotes. They need to start building remote controls.
You also have very big hands, Michael.
No, Joe, these remotes are, this is the size of a Samsung remote. I'm not even, this is about the size of a Samsung remote. I'm serious.
Looks like a stick of gum in his hands.
That's what it is, though. Look at this. Hold on.
Do you remember?
I mean, he's got.
Oh, whoa, he almost hit his head going. Oh, this guy. Oh.
No, I know the dimensions of the cave well enough. Look at this remote. Look at this remote. Look at this thing.
Put your hand around it, Mikey.
This is I wasn't far off. I wasn't far off.
I think it's a great thing. It's a great sell. It really.
How can I keep tabs on something that's the size of a pack of Big Red gum? How can I keep tabs on this?
You know what they got to come up with? They have the AirTags. They got to have one that sticks on. You could just put it on the remote.
Not a bad idea either. Listen, I know it's in a centralized location somewhere, but there's nothing worse than having to tear apart the couch cushions. And
does Dom take it?
He doesn't take it, but it just gets bounced around because the kids are jumping on the couch or doing it. The remotes, just upsize the remote, make it like the size of a phone. You're not going to lose it if it's the size of a phone. Just make it a little bigger.
I really enjoy the sell. I think it's a really good sell. I got to buy, and this shout out goes to Joey D. And it took me a while. And you know what? We gave him some shit when he quoted, and he's quoted on saying, "I grew up on the fish fillet," which still till this day is a
fillet of fish.
It sounds crazy, which it's a crazy comment to say, but it's, bro, I am in on the fish fillet.
Wow. Fillet of fish, Bob. Fillet of fish.
Oh, okay.
Fillet
Okay.
fish.
Fillet of fish. It is this thing.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, you can't knock it if you haven't tried it. I mean, I think a lot of people just hear they're not in. I said to Bob, because Bob likes like a creamy texture with food and the tartar sauce mixed with the American cheese.
Tartar sauce on it. Yeah.
And I told him
the cheese. I don't know about the cheese.
There's a life hack too. If you could ask for extra tartar sauce, and then it's real saucy, and that's what Bob loves.
You like the cheese on there? I feel like the American cheese slice would fuck it up, man.
Oh, I love it, Mikey. I love it top to bottom. And apparently,
I would love you just. Have you never had one, Mikey? Ever?
No. I just something about fish from a fast food restaurant.
You should just try it. I agree with you. I've never had any other fast food fish sandwich ever, but this is different. It's just built different. I'm telling you.
I feel like I would try it if I was in a McDonald's and I sat in store like that. There's no way the fillet of fish travels well. There's just no way.
I will say every time I've had it, it's when I was there. It was when I was at the drive-through or.
Yeah, you get it through the drive-through.
You cannot, especially now, like it's snowing out in Jersey. Like we got snow yesterday, about 2 inches. And it's bitterly cold. There's no way a fillet of fish is traveling in Uber Eats for 20 minutes.
You get it from the drive-through, and it's piping hot. It's pretty awesome.
That's different. I would be willing to try it under those.
There we go.
Well, the thing is, Mikey, it sounds like a Brilliantly Dumb show thing. That's one of my favorite things, where we just send you food. And me and Joe are due up for we still got to do the Burger King thing too, as well.
Oh yeah.
What was the Burger King item?
The royal chicken wraps.
I would say one of the peaks of the Brilliantly Dumb show was the Chiking controversy.
The Chiking was a great sandwich, man.
That was.
All right,
if it was so good, it'd still be here.
Well, Burger King, I can't, speak for their corporate decision making. It's not good. Clearly, it's not good. It's not good decision making.
Apparently, they looked at the sales of the Chiking and said, you know what, we don't need to keep it around, unless they do like a McRib situation where they bring it back every so often.
I think the overhead on those Chikings, they were losing money because it was such a high quality item. They were putting half a fucking chicken on that sandwich. I think they were losing money.
What ridiculous!
The margins were off.
The only thing they were losing money on was the amount of sauce they put on each patty.
Sauce was good too. Yeah, but it was good though. It's real good.
Real good. Man, I'll take that filet of fish. Any way I can get it. This thing is, and I was in your thoughts, Mikey. fast food and fish, and it just, oh God, it didn't.
Have you ever eaten at a Long John Silver? Have you ever seen a Long John Silver?
Seen 'em.
I've never even seen one. I've
Oh,
never even seen one.
Jersey had a few Long John
Yeah?
Silvers.
I
Yeah.
don't think I've ever seen one.
Jersey had a few Long John Silver standing, and then they still have a couple White Castles still standing.
Well, White Castle is very prevalent around me. There's
Still?
a
White
lot
Castle's
of White
great.
Castles, yeah.
Really?
That's still a thing. I feel like people still like crave case, you know, late night. That's still like a big thing. I've never seen someone or heard of anyone going to Long John Silver ever. Ever.
No,
No.
Never.
it
Never
might be
heard
a
of it.
front. It might be a front.
It's got to be like Pollos Hermanos. It has to be. Because I've never actually seen or heard anyone order from there in all my years. Never.
Tell you what
I-
nobody's doing either, and they're trying to throw. You see a different commercial every day with a new item they're throwing at you. Arby's is in shambles, and they have been for some time. They
The
can't.
diehard Arby's people will be like, but they got those curly fries. You can't just you can't just rest on the laurels of a curly fry for the rest of your life. You know, their slogan is, you know, it's we have the beef. Like I don't know what.
We have the meats.
Oh, the meats.
Yeah, the
The
meats.
Is
meats.
that right? Yeah, we have the meats. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
they better get something quickly because those meats aren't working for them.
Put that on Joey. Put that on Joey D's tombstone. Just you can't rest on your laurels of a curly fry.
Curly fry ain't gonna save you at the end of the day, dog.
Yeah.
It ain't.
All right, let's head on over to Joey D. Buy or sell.
I'm gonna sell something this week. Let me tell you right now. For the life of me, I cannot understand. It's hard for me to wrap my head around. These radio DJ hosts, man, are the worst. And people now are listening to the radio. It's like they're listening to these, I don't even know, what do you call them, hosts or DJs? They're listening to these segments for these people to talk about their routines and stuff. I tried driving the other day in morning traffic, and it's like I couldn't hear a song on the radio. Every single station was these DJs just talking and gabbing. What?
You've sold this already. You've
So
sold
what?
You've sold radio hosts already. You've already sold this.
No, I don't think I have.
I
Bob.
don't remember him selling this. I don't.
Radio hosts?
I don't remember it. No.
Yeah,
But
he
like
absolutely
my
did.
first question would be like, if you're looking to listen to music with Spotify and Apple Music and Pandora and all these options and satellite radio, why in the world would you turn to FM radio?
Well, no, because the Jag doesn't have the opportunity for me to like Bluetooth like capabilities. It's an old Jag, so I have to
Yeah.
listen to the radio.
Oh yeah, that's tough.
But there's people who are actually invested in these radio like morning shows, and they're calling in like a bunch
Did
of
he sell this
losers.
already? Did he
Yeah,
already sell this?
you had
Did
this
he?
exact same argument. You said with all of these things, why would you had this? This
Bob,
guy
I don't know. Bob, you don't have a very good memory.
Well, apparently I'm a
That's
goldfish.
also fair. That's also fair.
Bone, run it back. I promise you, he did this.
I don't understand for the life of me how these radio host people still have jobs where people go to their commute to work each and every day and they hear the countless dribble that is being discussed on the radio. Just play the music. I want to hear music.
There's no doubt about it.
Should put a
I
little friendly side wager on this.
Yeah,
I sold radio hosts on the
100%.
No.
You
And
may
then-
have sold the radio, perhaps, which is basically
Well,
the
I'll
same.
sell the radio with it. It stinks. The radio used to be the prime central measure of like communication that people would listen to. They would like, instead of TVs, they would dial into the radio. You want to talk, Mikey?
So
about
is the telegram, though, Joe. You know, time
but
marches
the
on.
radio has not done anything to adapt. It's the same radio
It's like
airways.
Bluetooth.
Yes, they got to figure it out,
Sure.
man.
Yeah.
And by the way, do you think in 20, 30 years, people still going to listen to the radio?
No.
I'm sorry. It'll be
No
gone.
way.
They have
Dead.
got to adapt. Mikey, I'll sell the radio. I'll sell the radio hosts. I'll sell everything
The
about
only radio I listen to is WFAM sports radio.
Yeah.
Do you know people still spend a shitload of money to run ads on the radio?
Yeah,
Do you want to talk? You might as well take your money and dump it down the toilet and flush, because you're
Right.
gonna get more satisfaction out of that dollar than putting it on the radio.
1-877 cause for kids.
So, Bob, I actually
cause for kids.
1-877
cause for kids.
donate your
card
card
today.
One more time now. 1-877.
No.
Come on.
He hates that, Bob. He hates that. So wait, I'm actually intrigued to know if I actually sold this before, though.
I'm telling you.
I mean, you're not going to be able to look through it now because
I'm probably going to get buried on the comments if I have.
By the way, Bone kind of blue balled us, and he didn't mean it with any, he didn't mean any harm in it. But we were in the top 100 for podcasts last week, and he sent us the new graphic of us in the exact same spot, and we thought that it was top 100 podcasts in the world. And I know you fell for that too, Mikey. I did too.
Yeah.
He blue balled us.
It was in
I
comedy.
I thought it was top 100 of all categories.
Now
I thought Mikey was ready to run through a brick wall.
I was, sure was.
we're
Sure
top
was.
100 in comedy. I wonder what we are in technology, because we were in the technology.
Got to be top 5.
Gotta be top 5.
Technology.
That is the craziest thing that we were in the technology genre for as long as this show I think has been going, and that's not on your guys' wrongdoing.
You got Elon Musk and then the Brilliantly Dumb Show.
Talking Tesla, and then right next to Brilliantly Dumb Show.
The tech guys.
The tech guy.
All right, fellas, who's ready for a little top 5 here?
Top 5.
Okay, today's top 5 is going to be your top 5 favorite teams. So look, this could be mixed up as far as
specific years, not like, oh, my favorite teams. That would be very dumb.
Correct. So your top 5, the exact year and that team of your personal favorite teams. And Joey D, we will start with you.
Wow.
This was a tough one, man. This is tough, and I might get buried a little bit for this one, but I mean, we'll see. All right, we're gonna start off with a hockey, not Canucks. The Canucks never had a top team, anyways. The 1984-1985 Edmonton Oilers, with a young budding superstar Wayne Gretzky. I think he had the most assists ever that year. They had players beyond belief on that team. You talk about Paul Coffey, you talk about Mark Messier, you talk about Esa Tikkanen, you talk about Grant Fuhr as their goalie. This team was built from bottom to top as well as you can, won the Stanley Cup with ease. Unbelievable team. And it, Canadian team, so I had to show some love there. That team was sensational. You can't tell me otherwise. That's my number 5. Moving to number 4. This is where it's tough. I'm going to go at number 4. I'm going to go with the 2007 New England Patriots. Listen, I know they lost the Super Bowl. I get it. But it happened because of a miraculous turn of events that, quite frankly, should never have happened. That team was built different. That team was unbelievable. That team should have gone on to break every record in the NFL in terms of best team.
What team was that?
The 2007 Patriots that lost to the
New York
Giants.
That's a great pick. That's a great pick. Even though they lost, that's a great pick.
I know they lost, and people go, "Oh, they lost," but the way they lost with the catch, and it was almost like the hand of God turned that game around. And that team was just unbelievable.
You're talking about the Randy Moss Patriots.
Yes.
Was that the team that lost on the David Tyree catch?
Yes. Yeah.
Are we sure?
Did I get the year wrong?
No, you may be right.
I think
I'm trying to think.
I think
they went 16-0.
Yeah.
They
Okay.
lost to the
Okay.
Super Bowl.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the right
Because I'm
year.
trying to. They lost the second one to the Giants. That was the Manningham touchdown catch.
But I'm
Okay,
talking about
right.
the David Tyree.
Got it. Yeah, David Tyree. By the
that
way,
was-
David Tyree, Montclair, New Jersey native. Shout out Montclair, New Jersey.
But that game, I mean, if you watch that game, you thought the Patriots were going to win. No, I think everybody in the world thought the Patriots. I mean, they were far and above it if you just
great
watch
pick.
them throughout the year. Okay, number 3. I'm gonna mix it up on you, gentlemen, here, and you know what? It's a patriotic pick, so I'm gonna take it. Neither of you are gonna have this. I'm
USA
gonna take
hockey.
No, it's not hockey.
No.
The 2016 U.S. women's gymnastics team was as sensational and dominant as you will ever find. I know you guys are going to scoff. They literally won every single medal you could win.
Joe, we could pick. I mean, you could pick the U.S. women's soccer team every fucking 4 years. They win the World Cup almost.
The
Not this
gymnastics
past-
team.
Yeah, I know. You said gymnastics. I know.
They won, I think they went 12 for 12 for team events and won 5 individual gold medals. It was the best. I have to show love to a patriotic team like this. And you know what? It's an opportunity to show our ladies some love, you know. So
I thought you would have went. I thought you would have went Miracle on Ice, USA hockey.
Me too.
But they weren't the best team. They won one series against
But it's not the best team. It's your favorite.
It's your favorite team.
I mean, Joe, it was spelled out clear as day. It was spelled out clear as day.
Come on. I mean, that's if you love that team so much, then that's fine.
The U.S. women's gymnastics team.
It was best teams.
Yeah,
is what I heard. It was best teams. What I read.
You heard.
Whoa. How's all-time top 5 favorite team?
That is so good. We gotta let it roll. Joe's gotta let it roll.
You gotta let it roll. You gotta let me. What did
Joe, we can quickly pivot.
That's a hand up accountability.
Yeah,
you see that? That's a hand up accountability.
It's unbelievable.
The thing with the hand up accountability is
I was like, when he said gymnastics, I'm like, wow, he must really like be into the Olympics. And I know a lot of people that are like that. They watch the Olympics religiously. I just personally, I'm just not an Olympics guy. But
this is just banged my whole list now.
I think the first two were I mean, Edmonton Oilers.
But it's not my favorite though. It's not my favorite.
Surprised with the Patriots too. I
think that's a good play though. I think that's a good play.
But I don't see Joe like loving that team.
No, I hated that Patriots.
Yeah. Keep it rolling, Joey D. You gotta let him eat.
Oh, this is so bad now.
We could rescue it with a great top 2, though, Joe.
That's right. That's right.
Don't
Don't change up, Joey D.
This is not getting any better. Number 2. This is awful, man. Number 2, I have the 1972 Dolphins undefeated football team. Don Shula. Don Shula. Really. Don Shula. Bob Greasy got hurt.
Yeah, Larry Zonka. Sure.
Yeah, they still came through.
Unbelievable.
Made it to the AFC Championship until Greasy was able to come back and win the championship.
This is what dreams are made of, honestly. This is
undefeated.
What dreams are made of.
Hey, listen, that's the only undefeated team in the history of NFL.
It sure is.
Ever. And
That's
every year they pop champagne because the other teams lose.
Yes.
So they deserve to be there.
Yep.
Number 1, the 92 Dream Team USA.
Great call. That's a great number.
Prevalent, most sensational team in any sport, in anything in the history of mankind. They won. I think they won in the finals by 37, and it was like the closest game that they had.
You know what?
Jordan and Larry Bird and Magic Johnson and Charles Barkley. I mean,
insane.
Unbelievable.
If he didn't have the women's gymnastics, I still think his list would play very well. I really do. I think.
By the way, the reason we were laughing, it was so out of left field. I mean, to think that Joe was in front of his TV watching this gymnastics team.
I got really excited when I did see them winning all the golds. I will say, because I remember watching that.
You're a true patriot, Joe.
Oh, this is over, man. I don't even want to see when the graphic comes
up.
I
can't wait for the graphic.
Tough.
It's going to be great.
Tough. Joe, I think you won. I think you won last week's though. If that makes you feel.
I know, but I wanted to show some love to our U.S. women, and I thought it was a perfect opportunity.
You're still showing them love.
They got their love.
They banged.
I don't know where Bone's going to find the graphic for it, but they're in there.
All right. I'll I'll let it rip. I'll let
This
it
is
rip.
such a bang job, dude. It's because I read this thing at 6 a.m. and I just scanned it over. Bob put like 96 Bulls and like all these good teams. I just thought it was like, oh man, this okay, go ahead.
Okay, all right. I'll let it rip. Number 5, one of my favorite teams to watch, the 2013 San Antonio Spurs with
Wow.
Tony Parker, Manu Ginobili, Boris Diaw, like the way they move the ball.
Duncan was still there now.
Duncan was still there.
Yeah.
The way they move the ball, it was some of the most fun basketball to watch. They were so well coached. But I will say with Popovich, when he pulled that thing with Kawhi Leonard, when he told the fans to stop booing, that was tough for the, Popovich lovers. That was really tough to see because he had no business doing that. That's a side note. 4, I have the 96 Bulls solely because I love Tony Kukoc. Tony Kukoc was my guy. Dennis Rodman, Jordan, of course, all of that. 3, and I don't have them in 2 or 1 because of one particular guy. The 09 Yankees, to me, obviously they won the World Series. Robinson, Cano, the whole team.
You don't have him 1 or 2 because of A-Rod, Bob.
Yeah,
That's
it is
fucking insane, bro.
you know what?
That's just
He hates him so much. I don't even know
me and
why.
Bob go back and forth on this all the
I don't
time.
know
One of
why
the
he hates
greatest
him so
baseball
much.
players to ever live. One of
And
the
this
greatest
guy-
baseball players to ever live.
And
Ever.
he
But
thinks,
where does the hate stem from?
Bob thinks he's arrogant, which is
But
not.
what
He's not wrong.
he's a pompous jerk. And
Okay.
everybody in the league even talks about it. I mean, like he literally he's a notorious jerk off, and he's a pompous prick. He really is.
Yeah,
What was the
he did
moment
a lot
that
for
you
us.
like? I hate this guy. What did he do?
Well, he had a whole thing with Jeter as soon as he showed up. That was like, and a lot of Yankee fans got turned off by that with Jeter because Jeter is God as far as Yankee fans are concerned. So a lot, but I was never one of those. I just appreciated A-Rod's greatness as a baseball player.
Well,
as a
you guys are
person, I mean,
championships.
yeah,
by the way,
if A-Rod did well for another team, like if he was a Red Sox, he would be my most hated player probably of all time if he was a Boston Red Sox.
Right. Even by the way, even if he was playing for the Reds, Mikey, I think
Sure. Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So yeah, he was a Yankee. But look, bottom line is I got the team on there at 3. And then number 2, I just thought this was such a fun team. And I remember playing them PlayStation, whatever the hell it was at the time in Ken Griffey Jr. baseball, the 98 Mariners with John Olerud, Edgar Martinez, Alex Cora.
Was Randy Johnson on that team?
I think Randy Johnson was on that team.
Yeah,
that was one of the most
that team was
fun.
fucking elite, man.
I don't think they won the World Series.
They did not.
No, they did not.
Yeah.
They did not.
But that team was loaded. And then number 1.
I bet I know your number 1.
You think so?
I think so.
Let it rip.
Is it a football team?
Yeah.
Is it a college football team?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what it is.
Go ahead.
It has to be because they're on my
Miami.
list. It's got to be the 01 Hurricanes. It has to be. Yeah.
Was that with Frank Gore?
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about you had Willis.
Santana Moss?
No, you had Sean Taylor. You
Kellen Winslow?
had Jonathan Vilma. You had Kellen Winslow. You had Jeremy Shockey. You had
Montrezl
Najee Davenport, Clinton Portis, Ed Reed. I mean, that team produced 17 first-round draft picks.
Whoa.
17 first-round draft picks were on that Miami roster the year they beat Nebraska in the Rose Bowl for the national championship game.
You know
Insane.
what? I don't think they'll ever get back to that. I really don't.
Bob, you must
I mean,
have
that
been glory.
was.
I mean, that was awesome. And then I've never really seen them after that. I mean, people still, I don't think people really realize just how out of it the Hurricanes are. Like they have not even been remotely. They start off.
They had a little resurgence a couple of years ago with the defense and the turnover chain and all that. They went back a little bit.
You know how tight that window was? It was like for a few weeks and then it was gone.
Yeah.
The Yankees will never win another World Series.
Oh my
The
God. Give me a
Hurricanes will never
break.
win another national championship. And forget about the Jets. The Jets might not even be in the league in the next few years.
They're going to get relegated.
Yeah. So all my teams stink. And I'm with Dom. I'm a free agent after this year. Any team that I want to go with, me and Dom are going to ride together. And that's just the way it's going to be. Mikey V, we send it over to you.
All right. Number 5 is Bob's number 1, the 2001 Miami Hurricanes, undefeated, 17 first-round draft picks on that roster. I believe Orlando Pace was on that roster also. Bryant McKinney was on that, not Orlando Pace. He was a Buckeye. Bryant Mount McKinney was on that team. Ken Dorsey, Andre Johnson. This team was just silly.
Yeah.
The team was just, I mean, it was silly. The running backs, Najee Davenport, Clinton Portis. I think Edgerrin James. James might have been gone, but my
It might have
God,
been Willis McGahee
McGahee was a true freshman, I believe, that
on
year.
that team.
So he didn't even sniff playing time yet. And I mean, they just had Mike Rumpf. I mean, they had player after player. Sean Taylor. I mean, they were just loaded. Number 4, 95 Bulls. 95, 96 Bulls, 72 and 10, Kukoc, Jordan, Pippen. I mean, growing up as a kid, when I grew up, like the Bulls were everything in basketball. It didn't matter where you lived. It was Chicago Bulls, NBA basketball. Everyone had Bulls t-shirts or hats. Even if you lived in New York, it didn't really matter. They were just an omnipresent team across the whole country because they were so dominant. That team in particular. Number 3, 98 Yankees, Bob. I'm going to go 98 Yankees, 114 and 48, swept the Padres in the World Series. Scott Brocious. Yeah, David Wells, David Cohn, Andy Pettit, Mariano Rivera. I mean, this team, Tino Martinez, this was the classic Yankee team of all time, was the 98 Yankees. Number 2, little curveball. Joe may appreciate this one. Give me the 2006 Italy national soccer team that won the World Cup.
That's a great pick, Michael.
One of my favorite teams and runs of all time, the 2006
Italy Germany. Team. That game was unbelievable. Del Piero
beat Germany in the semifinal in Germany, of all places. That was where the World Cup was that year.
France
they didn't allow a goal besides an own goal and a penalty kick the entire tournament. Their defense.
You know who the penalty kick was against?
Yeah, Zidane, France in the
final. There was. I think they lost.
They gave up an own goal in the
Australia. They played Australia. I think they gave up then maybe it was a penalty.
No,
kick.
they beat Australia on a Francesco Totti.
Oh yes, that's kick. Right. I remember there was a penalty kick.
They gave up an own goal against USA in group stages, an own goal, and then in the final, obviously, they gave up the penalty kick to Zidane.
Buffon was unbelievable.
Buffon and Fabio Cannavaro. Fabio Cannavaro, that tournament was some of the greatest defending I have ever seen in the history of soccer. He was just unbelievable. So 06 Italy team, and then number one is arguably the most entertaining, greatest team in the history of the NFL is the 85 Bears, the Super Bowl shuffle. Sweetness, Richard Dent, Dan Hampton, 2 first ballot Hall of Famers off the edge, Mike Singletary. I mean, this team, Walter Payton, Jim McMahon, this team, Mike Ditka. This was the greatest team ever. I mean, it was the greatest team ever, but we haven't been good since. So
you sure you don't want to put that U.S. women's gymnastics team on that list?
They might be my honorable mention.
I cannot wait till that graphic comes out. That is going to be an absolute blast. It really is.
I don't know if I'll get one vote.
It's going to be tough.
I'll have to vote for myself just to get one vote.
Let's hear the honorable mentions. I'm curious about the honorable mentions.
I don't know if
you
I
could do a lot here.
I don't know if I can do it because I wasn't alive, but looking back on it and seeing all of it, and then the movie that came from it, I got 1980 USA men's hockey Miracle on Ice. I think out of respect.
Yeah, there you go.
Did I get 5 honorable mentions? There's so many to choose from. I wanted to put the 96 Bulls there, but I'm going to take a team of mine that sadly lost, but it was a riveting squad. The 94 Stanley Cup losers, the Vancouver Canucks with the Russian Rocket, Pavel Bure, Kirk McLean in net. I was a young boy.
They lost to the Rangers, right?
8 years old. Yeah, they lost to the Rangers, and I cried like a baby in my on my bunk bed. I bawled uncontrollably. The fun fact, at the beginning of the playoffs, I told my dad that we were going to win the Stanley Cup. The Canucks came in as an 8 seed. They barely made the wild card. They had to play the Flames in the first round, who were like the best team. And my dad said, I'll tell you what, if the Canucks win if they win the Stanley Cup, I'll buy you a Sega Genesis. We got to 1 game away. We lost. I thought he might buy it as a sympathy thing because still never got it. So that was tough, but That was a fun team.
And ironically, NHL 94 for Sega Genesis was probably the greatest hockey video game ever produced.
I just wanted to run with Sonic the Hedgehog through all those coins, man. That's all I wanted to do.
That's a great game also, Sonic is a great game. Yeah, you could pencil me in for I'll show Ohio State love. The 2014 team that won the national championship, Braxton Miller getting hurt, JT Barrett getting hurt, Cardell Jones coming in. They knock off Alabama, they knock off Oregon. That was a magical run. That under
You didn't think that the 85 Bears were going to be on that list for Mikey B.
I mean, are the 85 Bears not one of the most storied teams in the history of the NFL, Bob? They just are.
You know what me and Jen always talk about? Because of that 85 Bears team.
You've been resting on that 85 Bears.
Joe, I agree with that.
I agree with that.
You talk about McDonald's not making changes, dude.
Oh, man.
Well, with that, it's time to go to war today, gentlemen.
It's time
to go to war. It's time to go to war.
Bears
We're ready.
Packers for all the marbles, kind of. But we love you, boys. To the folks, we love you all. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe to the show. We got top 100. We want to get that top 50 graphic out of Bone this week. We will see you next week. Take care, folks.
Go Bears.